Hi everyone, this is Suresh, lecturer in Mechanical Engineering, Government Polytechnic, Chegunta. I am going to deal with a subject called Advanced Workshop Technology for second semester Mechanical. So I am going to take a topic called Mechanical Properties of Metals. So under this, the subtopic is hot working and cold working processes. So first of all, we would like to know. So in previous classes, we have learned some of the hardworking processes. Okay, so among them, one more hardworking process is pending. So today I will going to discuss about that hardworking processes and also continue with the cold working processes. Okay, so by completing this lecture, so you will able to know about introduction of hot extrusion, definition and explanation of hot extrusion, and what are the advantages of hot extrusion, limitations, and methods of extrusion. Okay, so all you have to know about the all these topics, and also cold working processes. Okay, so first of all, I would like to explain about hot working processes. So this is one of the hot working processes. So that is hot extrusion. Okay, so actually, what is an extrusion? Okay, so extrusion is nothing but the extracting the or stretching of the material on work metal by the applying an external pressure on the workpiece. Okay, so here, so we are using two rollers, hot rollers. So between the two rollers, okay, so we are moving the workpiece. That is the basic concept in mechanical working of metals. So I would like to explain about hot extrusion. Okay, so hot extrusion is used to produce long lengths with a desired cross section, which is very difficult by any other processes. Okay, so basically, the extrusion process is like squeezing toothpaste out of a tube. Okay, right. So it has an advantage of high reduction, that is greater than any other deformation process, with excellent accuracy and surface finish. Okay, though the process is best suited for non-ferrous alloys. Okay, so this process is best suited for non-ferrous alloys. So steel can also be extruded. Okay, so solid and hollow sections can be produced, and this process can be applied to a wide range of materials. Okay, right. So we can see the working principle of hot extrusion now. Okay, the hot extrusion consists of a placing a heated billet in a container and through forced it through a die by application of pressure from the ram. So by the ram, just we have to apply the pressure on the hot billet, so that the billet can pass us through the a set of dies. Next, it always remains in the sorry, a small position of the billet called discard. Okay, the a small portion of the billet called discard, it always remains in the container and is removed together with the die. Okay, the extruded piece that emerges has the desired shape and the reduced cross-sectional area. Okay, so the principle of extension process, okay, is called a extrusion. Okay, so block or pressure pad is kept between the billet and the ram. Okay, so what you have to keep between the billet and the ram? A dummy block or a pressure pad is kept between the billet, hot billet, and the ram to protect the ram face. Okay, you can see here. So by this extrusion process, we can produce rods and tubes produced from aluminium. Okay, and extrusion is increasingly utilized in the working of metals difficult to form, like stainless steels, Ni-based, nickel-based alloys, and other high-temperature materials. Okay, you can see the diagram here. This will be the hot billet. This will be the a dummy block. So face between the billet and the face of the ram. Just we have to apply the external force or pressure to the ram so that between the container walls, the billet, hot billet will pressed against a external force. Okay, so that after applying the heavy pressure onto the billet, so between the dies. Okay, so we can see this is a die. These are the die. This is a die. So through the dies, the hot billet will passes. Okay. So and the die is hold with the help of a die holder. Okay. So that we can extrude the hot billet from the container. Okay. So this process is called hot extrusion. Okay. Right. It is used to produce long lengths with desired cross sections, which is very difficult by any other processes. Okay, right. You can see the actual diagram of the that is working process of hot extrusion. Now you can see the diagram of hot working hot extrusion working process. Okay, this is a common diagram for hot working extrusion process. Let's stop. Right. So this is a common diagram for a hot extrusion working process. We can see here. We can make so we can produce pipes, okay, rails, cotton rails, gutters, guttering, okay, and some other products. Right. We can see the just slow movement of the billet through the die. In this diagram, we can see. Okay. The reddish colors are the hot billet. Okay. So with the help of pressure, high pressure, okay, so it is passing through the die. Right. This is the 2D diagram for hot extrusion. Okay, the ram will press the hot billet. This blackish color. This will be the hot billet within the cylinder. Okay, so it is passes through the dice. Okay, and this will be the extruded metal which comes out from the through the dice. Okay, so hot extrusion consists of placing a heated billet in a container and forcing it through a die by application of pressure from the ram. Okay, yes, okay. Already we discussed about all this. So now we can see the advantages of hot extrusion. Okay, a large reduction. Okay, a large reduction 60 is to 1 can be achieved. The very complex shapes can be produced. Okay, very complex shapes can be produced. The forces involved are compressive. Okay, so relatively brittle material can be extruded. Okay, which would not be possible with other methods. Okay, next, excellent dimensional tolerance can be maintained. Okay, along with a very high surface finish. Okay, next. So next will be limitations of hot extrusion. However, it has the following limitations. So it creates inhomogeneous deformation condition. Okay. Next, extrusion of steel requires high pressure and temperature. Heat generated during extrusion may cause surface cracks. Okay. Next, we can see the methods of extrusion. Various methods of extrusion are: first one, direct or forward extrusion; second, indirect or backward extrusion; third, tube extrusion; and fourth, impact extrusion. Okay, so briefly we discuss about the first one, that is direct or forward extrusion. So this is the line diagram of a direct extrusion. Okay, you can see. In direct extrusion, a small billet is heated to render it to render it to render to a plastic state and is placed in a container. Okay, so a hot billet is heated and to a plastic state and is placed in a container. The hot billet is forced through a die by the application of pressure from the ram. So during the operation, the container and the die are stationary. Okay, next, and the billet moves relatively to the container. So this causes high frictional force, requiring the use of high ram temperature. Sorry, high ram pressures. So in direct extrusion, the products emerge in the same direction as the ram. Okay, so this cause this uh, in this the ram movement and the extruded bar, okay, from the through the die are in the same direction. Okay, next one is indirect extrusion. Okay, line diagram you can see here. This is a diagram of a indirect or backward extrusion. Okay, this is a diagram of backward extrusion or indirect extrusion. You can see the parts here: die, cylinder, ram, extruded metal, and closure. Okay, next we can see in backward extrusion or indirect extrusion, the die is forced into the metal so that the product emerges in the direction opposite to the ram. Okay, so when the billet metal is forced with the help of a ram, so the billet metal will passes or will flows in the opposite direction to the ram direction. Okay, so this is achieved by closing one end of the container by attaining the die to the halo ram. Okay, there will be a halo ram. Okay, so by this arrangement, that is, one end of the container should be closed to achieve the movement of the billet in opposite direction to the ram. Okay, the halo ram allows the extruded part to pass through it. Okay, so during the operation, there is no relative motion between billet and the container. Okay, during the operation, there is no relative motion between the hot billet and the container. So wall friction is eliminated. Okay, so we are eliminating the wall friction. Next, thus the lower extrusion pressure is required than direct extrusion. Then the direct extrusion for the same reduction. Okay, you can see here. So, however, the size of the extrusion is limited to the inside diameter of the halo stream. Okay, so and a halo ram makes the plant more complicated. So we can already have seen the diagram of the indirect or backward extrusion. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the tube extrusion. That is third one. Third hot extrusion is tube extrusion. Yeah, we can see now. So it is a direct extrusion process. Okay, so we can see the line diagram of a tube extrusion. You can see the parts: hot billet, okay, ram, extruded tube, okay, hot billet, ram, extruded tube, and mandrel. Okay, next there will be a die. Okay, so here there will be a die. Okay, and all this is a thick walled container. Okay, so this is a container with a thick walled container. Okay, next we can see the now. So this tube extrusion is a direct extrusion by using a mandrel attachment to the ram face. Okay, as shown in the figure. Okay, the billet is okay. The billet is forced through the angular space, so between the die and the mandrel. Okay, so there will be a mandrel extended to the entrance of the extruded die. Okay, So the billet is forced through the angular space between the die and the mandrel. Okay. So in certain cases, the mandrel is contained within the die. Okay. In certain cases, the mandrel is contained within the die. Okay. You can see here. Okay. So additional tooling is required. Since the additional tooling is required, the tube extrusion is will obviously cost more than a solid ones. Okay. So but a wide variety of shapes can be produced that cannot be made economically by any other processes. So by adding an additional tool, okay, so the cost of the tube extrusion is more as compared to the solid ones. Okay, and also a wide variety of shapes can be produced which cannot be made economically by the other processes. Okay, so that is the tube extrusion, and the last one is impact extrusion. Okay, last one is the impact extrusion. So it is a basically a cold working process in which the metal deform or flow due to high impact force. Okay, this basically it is a cold working process, but in which the metal deforms or flows due to the high impact force. Okay, so it is described under cold working processes only. Okay, the material to be extruded must possess ductility at room temperature. Okay, the metal billet is placed in the die. Okay, so punched is driven into the die cavity, which wait, the system is going to be die. Right. So punch is driven into the die cavity with the help of a ram. Okay, that is applied heavy force or high pressure by the ram to driven the mm, hot billet into the die cavity. So this driven force causes the metal to move upwards through the clearance between the punch and the die or ram and the die cavity. Next, so punch is moved up and the component is removed. After moving the ram or punch moving up, the component will remove. Okay, we can see the diagram here. Impact extrusion. Okay, okay. Before impacting this one, after impacting, that is extruded part. This will be the extruded part. Okay, that this we can see here. This will be the spinning process. Okay, it's the necking process and spinning process. Next, effects of hot working. So metals are worked under the high condition to achieve the following. Okay, so relieving internal stresses, refining the grain size to improve mechanical properties. So machinability is increased, surface conditions are achieved, resistance to corrosion and wear increased. Okay, so all these are the effects of hot working, and also Some of the various mechanical properties that can be improved are ductility, malleability, hardness, toughness, strength, okay, and also having some advantages of hard working. So hardening due to plastic deformation is completely eliminated. Okay. Next, elongation, reduction in area, impact strength are improved by the hard working process. Next, refinement of crystal occurs. So break up brittle film of hard constituents. So promotes uniformly of materials. Okay. Next, cracks and blowholes are welded up. So internal residual stresses are not developed. So high degree of dimensional accuracy can be obtained. Okay, smoother surface finish is possible. Okay, next, less force is required to shape the metal because so the billet will be in hot condition. Okay, so complex shapes can also be done easily. Okay, so all these are the different advantages of hard working. So now we are going to discuss about the limitations of hard working. Okay, the cost of the working process is more or high. Okay, so this is most suitable for ductile materials only. Okay, so intermediate annealing is required for this process. Okay, so next process is cold working processes. Okay, cold working processes. Still, till now we are discussed about the hard working process only. We have different methods of hard working process. So till now we discussed all those hard working processes briefly. Or next. So now we are going to discuss about the cold working. Okay, so actually what is a cold working? We will see here. So cold working is nothing but the plastic deformation of metals. So below the recrystallization temperature. So previously we discussed about the hot working. Okay, so in hot working, the plastic deformation of metals is above the recrystallization temperature. But here the temperature should be in below. Okay, the plastic deformation of metals can be achieved below the crystallization temperature. Okay, so generally cold working process are done at room temperatures only. Okay, so these type of working process are done at room temperatures only. Next, so greater pressure, that is higher pressure loads are required for cold working than that of the hot working. Okay, so higher pressure is required, okay, to move the billet. It's generally employed for finishing operations. Okay, so generally this working process is employed for the finishing operations after shaping and sizing obtained by the hot working. After the process is completed by the hot working process only, then only we are preferring for the cold working process. Basically, it is employed for the finishing operations. Okay. Next, we can see the a list of cold working processes here. Okay. First one is cold rolling, bending, drawing, squeezing, shading, extrusion. Okay. Short peening, rubbing. Okay. So all these are the different or various types of cold working processes. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the each and every cold working processes. Okay, so among them is first one is cold rolling. Okay, this is a diagram of a cold rolling processes. Okay, now we can see the diagram here. So this is a diagram of a cold rolling process. Okay, so you can observe the figure here. Okay, so similarly it looks like a what hard working process only. Okay, between the two rollers, the metal or work metal will passes through the two rollers. So it looks like a similar to the hot working only. Okay, but this cold working is done at room temperature after completing the hot working process. Okay, right. So first one is a cold rolling. Okay, so first one is cold rolling. You can see here. Okay, so it is the process of deforming the material by allowing to flow between two rollers. So it is a process of deforming the material by allowing to flow between the two rollers without much heating. So for these rollers there is no high temperature. Okay, so at that stage, so you are just deforming the material by allowing the flow between these two rollers. Okay, so that the so that the refined grains structure will occur. Okay, so now we can see the operation, okay, of the rollers. So it consists of two or three rollers. Okay, so this cold rolling consists of either two or three rollers. So one roller is driven by motor and the other is driven by the roller. Okay, isn't it? So one motor is driven by the motor and the other is driven by a roller. So when the metal inserted due to friction, metal passes through the roller. Okay, you can see here. Okay, so when the metal inserted, so due to the friction, metal passes through the roller. Okay, so the gap between the rollers is adjusted according to the thickness required. Okay, next features we can see here. So generally, rods, strips, and sheets are cold rolled to get bright, smooth surface finish and improve the physical will be low. Okay, physically will be low. Okay, if hardness, strength have to be improved, so substantially high thickness reduction. Okay, so high rolling pressures are necessary. Okay, if to improve the hardness and strength. Next, advantages of cold rolling. So good surface finish can be achieved. So good dimensional tolerance can be achieved, and high high strength and hardness can be improved. Okay, and no scale and metal losses. Okay, all four are the advantages of hot rolling. So next is disadvantages of hot rolling. Sorry, cold rolling. Previous also not hot rolling, so it will be a cold rolling advantages. Okay, next, so we can see the disadvantages of cold rolling. It requires high power to deform the metal. Okay, next, only ductile metals can be cold worked. Okay, only ductile materials can be cold worked. So ductility is decreased. Distortion of grain structure create. Okay, so heat treatment process like annealing is necessary to relieve the internal stresses set up during the cold working. Okay, next, effects of cold working on metals. So it can be observed that a degree of cold work increases and ductility decreases. As annealing temperature increases, so ductility increases and strength decreases. Okay. So next one is cold wire drawing. Cold wire drawing. You can see here. So drawing is pulling the metal through a die to achieve the reduction in diameter. Okay. Next, the size and the shape of the wire is same as that of the die shape and die size and shape. Okay. The raw material for drawing is the rod or 6 to 19 mm from rolling mill. Okay, the raw material for drawing the wires is the rod, that is 6 to 19 mm from rolling mill. Okay, so rolled materials are cleaned in sulfuric acid to remove scales. That's why, so there is no scale formation in this process. Okay, so we can see the cold wire drawing diagram. Okay, observe the figure here. Okay, isn't it? Right. So effects of cold drawing. So reduces the diameter, so increases its length, strength improved, good surface finish can be obtained, better dimensional accuracy can be achieved. Okay, so we can see the graph of the effect of cold drawing. Okay, so ductility decreases, so strength increases. Okay, next we can see. So operation started by pointing the end and pushing it through the die. Okay, the end is gripped by tongs and pulled. Tongs and then pulled. The end is gripped by the tongs and then apply the force on the tongs and then pulled the extruded bar. Next, the pulled end is attached to a power operated reel. Okay, then the release rotates to draw the extruded metal into the wire like a wire through die for drawing. Okay, you can see the cold tube drawing. Okay, similar to drawing operation. The tube is obtained by hot rolling, is cleaned and with aid with acid to remove scales, etc. Okay, a mandrel whose outside diameter equal to the inside diameter of tube is passes through tube. Okay, so a mandrel, there will be a mandrel whose outside diameter is equals to the inside diameter of the tube is passed through the tube. Okay, and pulled further for drawing. You can see the diagram here. Okay, so that we can produce the tubes from the cold tube drawing. Okay, next effects of cold tube drawing. Thin wall tubes can be made, then hot tube drawing. So good surface finish can be obtained. Good dimensional accuracy can be obtained. Improvement in the strength of the material. So internal stresses increased, which needs annealing for relieving the stresses developed inside the material. Okay, so this is the end of the seminar. I'll stop here now.